With integrated features like shock absorption, extended length grips, and easy to use external locking mechanisms, LEKI Thermolite XL Antishock poles deliver excellent year-round performance for hikers, backpackers, or snowshoers. Let's take a closer look at its feature set. The Thermolite XL Antishock poles are 3-section poles. That means there's 2 different points of adjustability. Because there is an anti-shock mechanism in play here, which is embedded in that lower shaft section, LEKI does utilize 2 different types of locking mechanisms for these poles. So on that upper pole section, you've got a really simple, easy to use, easy to adjust, but confident locking external speed lock mechanism. Can't use that on the lower shaft section, or you won't get that responsive shock absorption. So this is an internal locking mechanism. Out of view, there is an expander that as you open it, adjust it, and then tighten it up, actually does expand within that upper pole section, and it gives it a very, very confident lock. It also cuts down on weight. This is easier to use, but does add a little touch of weight. For the pair, they come in well under 17 ounces, so considering the feature set here, pretty lightweight option for aluminum trekking poles. With that 3-section telescoping design, you do have a 27-inch packed size on these poles, so collapses down that far. In terms of the usability range, extending the poles, starts around 39 inches and extends the whole way to over 53 inches. As the name of the poles does indicate, there is integrated shock absorption built into these poles. So in those lower shaft sections, you've got LEKI's soft anti-shock light mechanism. When you bear down on these poles, that creates a passive shock absorption, and I do use that word intentionally. You look at bearing down on these poles, it's not springy. You're not going to find your way down the trail, these bouncing up and down on you, nor should you. That's actually ineffective and counterproductive. It's passive. The more you bear down on it, the more responsiveness you will get. But really what it's doing almost imperceptibly is taking that impact out of driving these poles repeatedly into the ground. That vibration is going to find its way all the way up the poles to the last solid thing that it finds, which will be your wrist. So your wrist can take a bit of a beating, especially over long miles and day after day. So that shock absorption comes into play, lessens or dampens that effect, and reduces fatigue because of that. The poles are equipped with LEKI's Ergon Thermo XL grips. Got a really nice foam construction. It's firm, but gives a little bit in your hand. Just again, a really nice feel, really confident hand hold. You can see the ergonomics there at the top, the traditional spot where you'd hold it. On the very end of the poles, you'll see this oval shaping. There's some dimpling there as well. In those instances where you may want to be over top of the poles, gripping them this way, those ergonomics are really perfect for the palm of your hands. And again, that texturing has a nice little feel there as well. There's also an extended length to the grips and some texturing on those grips as well. If you think about using these in winter or any case where you might be wearing gloves, that little bit of extra thickness, that texturing gives a more confident grip than you'd find down lower on the shaft section. So if you're making height adjustments, that comes in handy. If you're using these poles on side hill traverses, you're switchbacking back and forth, and the position of your body is changing whether the poles are on the outside or the inside. You might find yourself wanting to make constant micro adjustments to the height of the poles, but because of this extended length, you would not necessarily have to do that. You could just change where you're actually holding the poles. They also have integrated wrist straps here at the top of the grips. You can pull that forward like that, make adjustments to exactly where you'd best like that position for your own comfort, for your own usage. It's really nice grip here on the Thermolite XL Antishock poles. Turn the poles around to the other end, the point that's coming into contact with the ground itself. This 3.5, 4 inches here at the bottom of the pole is actually a single piece. It's the Carbide flex tips, and the Carbide references the very tip end there, the Carbide portion that's coming into contact with the ground itself. That's perfect for dirt, for on trail, even off trail. On improved surfaces, if you were going to be using these poles on that type of surface, you'd want to invest in rubber tip protectors. They're sold separately, certainly a nice convenience. That also is a good accessory to have if you knew you were going to be using these extensively on rock, on smoother surfaces. That actually bites a little better than this Carbide tip would. This whole piece is designed in such a fashion that if you would have the misfortune of jamming the pole between two rocks or putting them in some position where potentially you would snap the poles in half, this piece will actually shear away. Well, that doesn't sound ideal. That's replaceable. That's fixable in a way that a broken shaft section in the backcountry could be a greater issue. It's worth mentioning on aluminum poles that LEKI does offer a lifetime warranty on shaft breakage. Other thing I want to make mention of here, this disc that you're seeing at the bottom of the poles, this is called a basket. These performance baskets that you're seeing right here come standard with the poles. On most surfaces, they're sufficient to keep the poles from going too far into the ground, and because of that, not giving you the support and the stability that you're looking for. On softer surfaces, deep mud, sand, snow, it's worth investing in snow baskets or deep powder baskets. They're much broader in diameter. They're sold separately, but they'll thread right into place on these tips. They're definitely a swappable design, so you can equip the pole for various conditions. LEKI Thermolite XL Antishock trekking poles. That really nice set of features, great ergonomics on the grips, easy to use adjustability, shock absorption. Really a solid option for hikers, backpackers, or snowshoers looking for a pole that can work in any and all seasons.